Yes, I'm joined. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm a little bit late because I had a little technical problem.
So, good morning, sir. I think, sir,
You continue. You
Yeah,
continue. Sir. You continue. Manoj. Manoj, you continue.
Okay. So, dear participant, good morning to all. We are very happy today morning with us. We have Professor Lalhmasai Chuaungo, senior most professor of the Mizoram University, basically Department of Education, and presently holding the post of the Dean School of Education. Madam is former Director HRDC, former Director of HRDC Center, Mizoram University. Madam have a very rich experience, and also Madam is the one key member of the new education policy implementation committee of the Mizoram University. And under the Madam able leadership, Mizoram University, one of the few university in the country who implemented a new education policy from session August 2022. So, Madam, this brief introduction, I welcome you in HRDC Center, this FIP program, and thank you so much. Today is holiday, even then you agreed to deliver your lecture, and for 2 lectures today. So thank you so much, madam. And always, I also joined under you when you are director. We conducted some program. So we know how much discipline and you dedication about your with work. So with this, madam, I welcome you and handing over the session to you for your lecture.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Amish Kumar Verma. Okay, the Deputy Director, UGC HRDC, for inviting me to be one of the resource persons for this faculty induction program. Today, okay, let me show my PowerPoint. Okay, I think it's visible to all of you.
Yeah, it is visible, madam.
Okay.
Madam, please make it presentation mode.
Yeah. So today I have been given 2 continuous periods. So in the first period, I will deliver a lecture on, no, this is my second, okay? First of all, I made a mistake. This will be the second, okay?
Madam, no problem. This also, because both the lecture is you and continue. So I think it better first you tell about higher education, then NAP.
Yeah, this will be the second, okay? No, because in the first topic, I will talk about the status, okay, very briefly. Then what are the challenges? Then from there, I will go to NEP, implementation of NEP. So it is important that before we go to NEP, we know the status of our higher education and the challenges that we are facing. Okay, let me try to go back. Okay, first of all, I'll have to stop sharing, I think.
Yes, ma'am. First stop and then.
Please? Okay. Again, this is coming out. I don't know.
It is same one.
maybe, okay, while downloading, maybe I made a mistake. Let me. Okay, let me take my time. Maybe while downloading, okay, I made a mistake.
Okay, okay, madam, take your time.
Maybe. Now it's okay,
It's
isn't it?
okay, madam. Yeah, yes, madam. It's okay.
Okay, but wait, before opening, but okay. Okay, now we will have a brief look into the status of Indian higher education and the challenges that we are facing. From there, we'll go to NEP 2020. And today, I would like to apologize that some work is going on in our house, okay? And so there are also sounds. It may disturb us, but I cannot avoid that. Okay, first of all, okay, the existing higher education institutions in our country, are mainly categorized into three types. For example, standalone institutions, colleges, universities. So the latest All India Survey on Higher Education report so far published is 2019 to 2020. Now, according to that report, the list of higher education institutions listed in AC web portal are, standalone institutions, 11,779. Then colleges, 42,343. Universities, 1,043. So by this time, the number might have increased, but okay, we will have to base our data. We'll have to put our data based on this AC website, web portal. So this is how higher education institutions in our country are categorized. Now, what are standalone institutions? These are institutions not affiliated to universities, not empowered to provide degree. Therefore, they offer diploma level programs. Now, I see NET survey covered the following institutions, like technical institutes, such as polytechnics, recognized by AICTE or State Directorate of Technical Education. Here in Mizoram, we have only two polytechnics, I think, Lunglei Polytechnics and Women Polytechnics, and there they offer diploma in engineering, different courses of engineering like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, and all. Okay, so these are recognized by AICTE or State Directorate of Technical Education. Then postgraduate diploma in management recognized by AICTE. Then teacher training such as diet recognized by NCTE. Nursing institutes recognized by Indian Nursing Council or State Nursing Council. Then institutes directly under the control of various central ministries. Then paramedical institutes as recognized by Paramedical Council. Hotel Management and Catering Institute recognized by National Council for Hotel Management and Catering Technology. So AC survey covered these 7 types of standalone institutions. So these standalone institutions offer diploma programs, but they are part of higher education institutions in our country. So we might be aware that this students, those students who go for this diploma, for example, if they go for diploma in engineering, then after completing this, if they would like to join BTech program, then there will be lateral entry for them. Okay, they will be able to join in the, I think, 2nd year. So like that, there is so it is considered as part of higher education institution. And we have colleges. These are institutions which are not empowered to provide degree in its own name, and therefore are affiliated or recognized with universities. So colleges in our country are mainly of 3 types. See, the most popular ones are affiliated colleges. Then there are a number of constituent colleges also. That means colleges owned, run and managed by universities. Then we have a number of autonomous colleges, but I think the large majority of colleges in our country are affiliated colleges. Now, what we have to remember here is that when we refer to AC report, we have to remember that autonomous colleges are excluded from the survey. So whenever we give data based on IC, colleges will include only affiliated and constituent institutions of central and state public universities that we have to make note. Okay, universities. Okay, before we go further to universities, okay, let me say something again with regard to these systems. Okay, now, you know, most of universities in our country are affiliated universities, having a number of affiliated colleges. And this system, affiliating system, was, you know, introduced by the Britishers way back in, I think, 1857, when the first 3 modern universities, like Kolkata University, Bombay University, Madras University, were established. So these first 3 modern universities were established and set up by the Britishers on the pattern of London University, which was affiliating university at that time. But, you know, in one book that I have come across, I read that London University abandoned the affiliating system the next year. Okay. After 1 year, the 3 modern universities were established in our country. But in India, see, I mean, in other advanced countries of the world, you know, affiliating system has been abandoned since long time back. But in India, we're still following this, and affiliated colleges you know, constitute the largest number of colleges. So to do away this and to gradually abandon affiliating system, UGC since long time back encourage autonomous colleges, but to become autonomous colleges, the UGC has met some criteria, and innovation is given importance, that when autonomous status is to be given to college, then the colleges are expected to be innovative, and when they are expected to use their freedom, their autonomy for offering innovative and novel courses, and to introduce new things, and to improve their quality. Okay, so that is the main purpose, to improve the quality of our colleges. Then the UGC, since a long time back, introduced autonomous colleges, but only few colleges in our country could qualify themselves to get this autonomous status. Now also in our country, autonomous colleges are still very few in comparison with affiliated colleges. Now we'll go to universities, that is the highest institutions under higher education. Now, this university and university level institutions are the institutions which are empowered to award degree under some act of parliament or state legislature. Now, types, Indian universities can be categorized into different types, okay, depending upon the criteria of categorization. For basically, they are of three types, like conventional universities, then deemed to be universities, institutions of national importance. So when we say conventional universities, they are tertiary level institutions that are established through acts of parliament or state legislatures. And those established by acts of parliament are funded by the central government and are commonly referred to as central universities. Those established by acts of state legislature are funded by the respective state governments and are referred to as state universities. Now, what are deemed to be universities? This is a status. This is also a status of autonomy, okay, granted by the Department of Higher Education on the advice of the UGC under Section 3 of the UGC Act 1956, okay, for which a high quality in specialized academic field. So in our country, we have some good deemed to be universities like Manipal Academy of Higher Education. So Tata Institute of Social Sciences, this is very famous, okay, for its quality. Then, for example, NIPA in New Delhi, okay, National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration in New Delhi, is also a deemed to be university which has met many important contributions to to higher education in our country. So we have a number of good and famous deemed to be universities in our country. And for this also, deemed to be universities actually were not established as deemed university in the beginning. Okay, they were established as some kind of institution, but if they perform so well in teaching and research, then the UGC has met some criteria for these institutions to become eligible. And if those institutions feel that they fulfill the criteria and they are qualified to become deemed to be universities, then they can apply to the university, okay, by following the procedure, okay, like filling up of forms and giving the self study report, etc. And UGC will send inspection team on the spot verification, which will do on the spot verification. And if the institution is found to have not qualified, then the team will submit their recommendation to the committee. So in that way, a number of institutions have been conferred deemed to be university status. But as time went by, there came a time when some experts in our country felt that in course of time, some institutions which are not that good, which they are giving this status to a number of institutions, and including some institutions that are not that good in the list, deteriorate the quality of higher education institutions in our country. So in, I think, maybe 2009, when government of India appointed a committee under the chairmanship of Professor Yaspal. Professor Yaspal was many years ago. He was, I think, UGC chairman also. Then under his chairmanship, that committee was formed, and their report was named Rejuvenation and Renovation of Higher Education Institutions in our country. So there also, the committee talked about lots of things on the deemed to be university status, and they wanted to make the criteria a little bit more, stringent, so that institutions not what to be called are not included. Then institutions of national importance, I think we all know these are established or so designated by acts of parliament that undertake teaching and research in areas that are critical to national development. Like, for example, AIMS, IITs, IIMs, IIITs, NITs, IISER, etc., etc. Okay, some time ago in our country, we had around 52 institutions of national importance, but this the number I have written is not the recent ones. Okay, I got the list some time ago, so it may not be that up to date, but just to know the number, then here I put around 52. So, on the basis of structure and organization, universities also can be classified into unitary university, federal university, affiliating university. Okay, that I have talked about. What a unitary university. Teaching and research is conducted on a single campus, sometimes with subsidiary campuses. So there is a provision for both undergraduate and postgraduate teaching, as also for research. The bulk of the students reside in hostels or within the prescribed jurisdiction of the university. It has full control over its administration, teachers, and techniques. Okay, so examples of good unitary universities in our country, for example, Aligarh Muslim University, Banaras Hindu University, MS University of Baroda, Jawaharlal Nehru University, University of Hyderabad, Pondicherry University, and many others. Okay, now in our country, the best universities are unitary universities. So when we say they are unitary universities, they are not, since they are not affiliating universities, they do not have colleges affiliated to them. They do not have colleges affiliated to them, but they have constituent colleges. Okay, so the relationship between a university and constituent college and a university and affiliated colleges are quite different, isn't it? So in affiliating system, the university has authority over the affiliated colleges only on the matter, only on academic matters. So the colleges may be state government colleges or private colleges. But when the colleges are constituent colleges, they are of the university. They are colleges, owned by the university. So unitary universities have some constituent colleges, but not affiliated colleges. And they can concentrate more on their own teaching and research, and they are not that overburdened with the management of colleges. So in that way, they are always better than affiliating universities. That is why since long time back means particularly since the appointment of National Knowledge Commission way back in 2005, this National Knowledge Commission submitted its report on different aspects of education, and it submitted its report on higher education in the year 2006. So that was the time when the 11th five-year proposal was in the process of making, and the report of National Knowledge Commission on Higher Education became the basis for preparation of 11th five-year plan proposal for higher education. Then accordingly, Indian higher education was improved gradually. And during 11th five-year plan, 12th five-year plan, we found lots of improvements in our higher education. We can say that this is the result of the report submitted by National Knowledge Commission on Higher Education. So that since that time, UGC, or we can say that time it was MHRD, where through UGC took lots of took efforts, to improve the quality of higher education in our country by gradually diminishing the number of affiliating universities. That was always the plan. We can say since, and National Knowledge Commission submitted its report on higher education in our country. So, experts wanted to increase the number of unitary universities and wanted to gradually decrease the number of affiliating universities. Now, NEP 2020 would like to completely do away with affiliating universities and affiliated colleges. Now, the next type, federal university, is a university where teaching work is shared by the university with its constituent colleges. In India, we have a federal university, like Delhi University. So we do not have, I think, many federal universities. As I've said, I think majority of universities would be affiliating universities, and next will be unitary universities. So main characteristics of this federal university is the university and its constituent colleges are situated in close proximity of each other. Its constituent college is actively engaged in a work of university standard teaching. The actual teaching, as far as possible, be provided by the constituent colleges under the guidance of the university. Okay, now the third type is affiliating university. Okay, these are those that have central campus or that in which there are departments or schools that impart postgraduate instruction and conduct research. They have a variable number of colleges affiliated to them, and this may be distributed over a number of districts in accordance with the jurisdiction of the university. So affiliating universities are given the jurisdiction. Here in Mizoram, Mizoram University's jurisdiction is the whole of Mizoram. So all the colleges and institutions offering graduate level programs are affiliated to Mizoram University. Now the colleges, I can't read. Let me minimize this. The colleges mostly do undergraduate teaching, though some of them may be permitted to conduct postgraduate classes in selected subjects. Most Indian universities are of the affiliating types, with the larger ones like Pune University, Osmania University having more than 700, 800 affiliated colleges. Okay. So why is affiliating type of university not recommended by experts? Okay. Actually, this is no more popular in other advanced countries of the world. As I've said, this system was brought by the Britishers. Okay, they took the London University pattern, but London University abandoned the affiliating system long time back. Okay, maybe only about 1 year after our modern universities were set up by the Britishers in our country. So, in our country, it is flourishing, and particularly state universities have many affiliated colleges. And I do not know exactly, maybe they are the source of income for these types of universities also. And imagine, okay, in a big states like this, having 700, 800 affiliated colleges, one university having this much of affiliated colleges. Okay, so conducting examination for colleges, for all these colleges, okay, how heavy the work would be. And it is said those who are not in favor of this affiliating system of university say that the university is too much burdened on the work of colleges, conducting examination, and this involves lots of time, energy, then this large affiliating universities, cannot, or they are usually not that good in teaching and research because they are overburdened with many affiliated colleges. So when universities become unitary, then they are free from this kind of work. They have only their own colleges, constant colleges to look after, and they can concentrate more on teaching, postgraduate teaching and research. So they always become better. And affiliated colleges are under the academic control of the university, but not administrative and financial control, as you have said. They may be state government college or private college, or they may be under different management, but for academic purpose, they are under the university because they can offer undergraduate program, but they are not empowered to award degrees. So since universities have the power to award degrees, they need to be affiliated to affiliating universities. So as per AC report 2019 to 20, in India, there are around 307 affiliating universities. Now, based on the management and funding agencies, universities can be classified into central universities, state universities, private universities. Now, in our country, 48 central universities, are there. Then one open university, IGNU, then plus 135 institutions of national importance. So these are directly managed by the central, by the center. Then state universities, 386 plus 5 institutions, plus 14 open universities, and private universities, 396. Now, what are the challenges being faced by our higher education institution and by higher education in India? Now, I have shown you the number of universities, colleges, and standalone institutions. Okay, so I'm showing the number again: 1,043 universities, 42,343 colleges. Now, apart from those, more than 11,000 standalone institutions. So this large number of universities, colleges in our country reflect the overall severe fragmentation and small size of higher education institutions currently in the country. Now, remarkably, over 32.6% of all colleges in the country run only a single program, far from multidisciplinary style of higher education that will be required in the 21st century. So we now all know at least something about National Education Policy 2020. So what does it emphasize? Okay, NEP 2020 emphasize transformation of our existing higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary higher education institutions. Because now our higher education institutions, particularly our colleges, are so small, majority are so small. So over 32.6% run only a single program. If a college runs only a single program, then it is far from multidisciplinary. It is far from a large institution. So NEP wants that institutions, higher education institutions, should be multidisciplinary and large. Okay, that is the existing condition of a higher education. In fact, over 16.6% of colleges have enrollment below 100, while only 4% of colleges have enrollment over 3,000. So now, a college having enrollment below 100, okay, what can we expect from that kind of college? A very small college, and many of them running only a single program with enrollment below 100. What will be the quality of that college? Okay, what will be the academic environment in that institution? Okay, so what can we expect from the students coming out of that small college or single discipline college? But that is the status of our higher education. And this is a big challenge for us. Now, in our country, we have a number of colleges running only B.Ed program, running only engineering program, okay, then running only like that single program, agricultural university, okay, for example, Veterinary College. Yes, so like that, we have a number of single discipline institution, single discipline college. So this kind of college cannot have large enrollment. So they are single discipline and they cannot be large, and they cannot have that multidisciplinary kind of academic environment. So this is a challenge that we are facing, and NEP 2020 says that this large multidisciplinary college universities, okay, will have 3,000 or more enrollment. But now, what is our existing condition? Only 4% of colleges in our country have enrollment over 3,000. Okay, 4%. That means 96% of colleges in our country have not fulfilled the requirement made by NEP 2020. So if we do not restructure and transform our colleges, our higher education institutions, then we cannot expect, okay, quality higher education from our existing higher education institutions. So the fragmentation of the system leads directly to severe suboptimality on various fronts, like resource utilization, the range and the resource utilization. Okay, for example, when a small college, a single discipline college is established, okay, so the resources, the infrastructure, okay, is utilized by only a small number of colleges. It is not economical, okay, from the perspective of the government also. So resource provided is utilized by only a small number of students. Then the range and number of programs and disciplines, okay? So this is also a problem. The range and number of faculty. Small or single discipline institution cannot have in the range and number of programs and discipline, in the range and number of faculty. With only a single discipline institution or college, you cannot expect many faculty to be recruited. The ability to carry out high quality multidisciplinary research, okay, this is not possible. Okay, so the first severe, problem challenge that Indian higher education is now facing is severe fragmentation of higher education institutions. Then second problem or challenge is a rigid separation of disciplines with early specialization and streaming of students into narrow areas of study. Now, the harmful expressions of these are the enormous number of monofield institutions, most notably in the professional and vocational fields. For example, 3,849 standalone teacher education institutions, and most engineering and medical colleges being standalone or single discipline institutions. So these violate the basic requirement of good higher education. So a rigid separation of discipline, okay, with early specialization and streaming of students into narrow areas of study, okay, is the second big challenge that Indian higher education is facing. Then the third challenge is limited access, particularly in socio-economically disadvantaged areas with fewer higher education institutions that teach in local languages. So in our existing system, there is no equity in college density. For example, the number of colleges per lakh eligible population, that is eligible population for higher education, is 18 to 23 years. Okay, 18 to 23 years, because a student, by the age he attained the age of 18 years, is supposed to have just completed class 12 and is supposed to have newly joined college. And by 23 years, a student is supposed to be in the maybe final year in master's degree program. So 18 to 23 years are considered as eligible population for higher education. So the number of colleges per lakh eligible population varies from 7 in Bihar to 59 in Karnataka as compared to all India average of 30. That means in Bihar, there are only 7 colleges per lakh eligible population. Okay, per lakh population in the age group of 18 to 23 years, there are only 7 colleges for 1 lakh population in the age group of 18 to 23 years, while there are 59 colleges in Karnataka for per 1 lakh population in the age group of 18 to 23 years. So all in the average is 30. And there is also low gross enrollment ratio. And GR in higher education is India is only 27.1, which is calculated for 18 to 23 years of age group. Now, this low gross enrollment ratio is also a big challenge in our higher education, because India's GR in higher education is lower, even lower than the world's average. Now, when we look at the GR in higher education in other countries of the world, particularly advanced countries of the world, they have around 100 or 900, something 800. 100, around 100 or 90% something. Okay, 900, more than 90% or more than 80%. While in India, our GR is only 27.1 according to the latest AC report. Again, our country became aware of our very low GR in higher education as a result of the submission of report on higher education by the National Knowledge Commission. Okay. So before that, many authors writing about higher education in our country used to mention the large number of students in our higher education institutions and the large number of higher education institutions in our country. Maybe it appears that they never thought in terms of GR, gross enrollment ratio. So in terms of number, we were large because India is a big country with large population. So the total number of enrollment is to be large, but we never thought in terms of the eligible population. So again, the members of the National Knowledge Commission calculated the GR in our country in higher education when they were appointed, okay, to be members of this commission. They were appointed in 2005. So they started to work on that. And they found that India's GR in higher education was very, very low, just much below the world's average. So it was, I don't know exactly the GR at the time, maybe around 6, or I know that it was less than 10. Okay, in 2005, 2006, it was less than 10. That means more than 90% of India's youths in the age group of 18 to 23 years were outside our higher education system. So they gave recommendations for increasing the GR in higher education. So in 11 5-year plan, 12 5-year plan, also, they used to include a plan to raise the GR. Then during the 12 5-year plan, there was a proposal to introduce RUSA. Then RUSA also in its guidelines made a target to be achieved so that GR in higher education, our country could be raised soon. So in that way, okay, we are still striving to increase our GR. But so far now, also according to the latest report, what we can achieve is only 27.1, meaning that now also around 73% of India's youth in the age group of 18 to 23 years are outside our higher education system, meaning that they are not enrolled in any higher education institutions in our country. So what will be the future of India if large majority of our youth in this age group are outside our higher education system? Because they cannot be that productive by this age. Okay. So to become productive for the country, they need to get college, university education. So this is the condition and this is the challenge that is being faced in our higher education. Okay, I'm just showing this GR, for example, in this data was based on 2017 only, because I do not take the recent one, because taking this requires time. Long list of countries in the world. From there I collected this data myself. It was time taking, so recently I could not do it, but just to show India's position. That time it was reported that India's GR was 27.44. Now it is 27.1 only, as per AC report. Okay, this was maybe not based on AC report. One organization or institution conducted the survey, and this report is as per that survey. So Greece at that time had 136.60, Australia 113. So like that, okay, these countries had already achieved GR in higher education. Okay, this much of GR in higher education some years ago. Now, how could Greece, Australia have more than 100% GR? Okay, in net enrollment, it cannot be more than 100, but in gross enrollment ratio, it can be even more than 100%, because in gross enrollment ratio, whoever were enrolled, even if they are above 22 years, if they are still enrolled, if they are still studying, then they are all included. Okay, all those who were studying in colleges and universities, all of them were counted. So in gross enrollment ratio, the percentage can become more than 100. Now, limited teacher and institutional autonomy. Again, this is a challenge that is being faced in our higher education. So limited teacher and institutional autonomy, particularly in our affiliating system. Colleges do not have autonomy, do not have the freedom to prepare their own curriculum, okay, courses of studies. And since they do not have a role to play in this, then they also do not put their thinking, okay, on how to improve curriculum, how to improve courses of studies and all, okay? They are simply free. And it is in the hands of the university, the board of studies and all, to prepare curriculum, courses of studies. Then it is the university, the affiliating university, which decide the academic calendar and all these things. So particularly in the colleges, there is no autonomy, but universities have some type of autonomy. But the autonomy, the degree of autonomy that we are having are also differ. Okay, now because now graded autonomy is being used depending upon the NAAC accreditation that we are having. The degree of our freedom, they are different. And among the colleges, as I've said, there are some autonomous colleges. And these autonomous colleges have the freedom, okay, to design their curriculum, their courses of studies, and they have lots of freedom to manage their own affairs. That is why the UGC gave so much importance to innovations on the part of the teachers. But majority of the college college, majority of the college in our country do not have autonomy. They simply depend on the affiliating university to do all these things. So that is why they do not put their thinking. Also, they do not exercise their mind. So they are simply sitting idle, okay, with regard to all this. So they cannot grow much also. Because when we have more responsibility, when we have more freedom and responsibility, then we exercise our mind and we also can grow. So this is the system that we are having. So this is the challenge. Okay. Then inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and progression of faculty and institutional leaders. Okay, inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and progression. Okay, the system of selection, tenure, promotions, salary increases, other recognition, and vertical mobility of faculty and institutional leaders is at the current time not based on merit, but tends to be either seniority based, yeah, which is arbitrary. So this is this has had the negative effect of severely disincentivizing quality and innovation at all levels. Now, again, lesser emphasis on research at most universities and colleges and lack of competitive peer-reviewed research funding across disciplines. Okay, so this is also a big problem. So how much time have I spent? 10, 11, okay. So most universities and colleges in our country conduct very little research as a result of the separation in higher education between teaching institutions and research institutions. So this is problematic on two fronts. Enormous lost opportunity for research and innovation in the country. That is, now we have separate research institutes and teaching institutions, research institutions. And difficulty to have outstanding higher education and teaching in an environment where research is not taking place. And besides, there are problems like no mechanism to seed or mentor research universities and colleges. Very little funding for novel research ideas and proposals at most haste, especially for research in important multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary areas. Okay, now we are weak in conducting multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary or cross-disciplinary areas. This is our weakness, okay, the challenge that we are facing. So NEP 2020 is trying to correct all these weaknesses and challenges. Okay, then suboptimal governance and leadership of HAZE. So governance and leadership of HAZE deeply influenced and controlled by external bodies and individuals who often have vested political and or commercial interest in the higher education institutions. Then public institutions often operated as extensions of government departments with external interference in the selection and functioning of leaders of public institutions. So the educational aspects, including curricula, are controlled by multiple external bodies. Existence of many fake colleges that run with impunity. Regulatory culture, stifling innovation and creativity. Private HAZE not being treated on an equal footing with public institutions, which has discouraged public-spirited philanthropic HAZE, while unable to stop commercialization of higher education. So this is also the weakness of our higher education and the challenge as well. Large affiliating universities resulting in low standards of undergraduate education. Okay, this I have talked about. So some universities are with large number of affiliated colleges to the extent of 800 to 900. This I have talked about. So low global status of Indian HAZE. Okay, higher education institutions in India are not particularly strong in the areas emphasized in world university rankings, which is certainly a cause for concern. And no Indian university figured in the first 200 ranks in prestigious Times Higher Education World University rankings for the last many years. So I have not taken here also the recent data, but just to show, okay, the positions of Indian higher education institutions. This top 5 higher education institutions in NIRF 2020 and their positions in the Times Higher Education and QS World University Rankings 2020. So, for example, in NIRF, so far, okay, NIRF ranking was started in 2015, and the first result was announced in April 2016. So from there on, every year, the results of Indian higher education institutions in the NIRF, okay, are published every year. So IISc Bangalore, okay, used to occupy the first position. So in terms of NIRF rankings, we can say that IISc Bangalore is the best higher education institution in our country. So what is its position in 2020? In Times Higher Education World University ranking, it could occupy only 301 to 350. It could occupy the position, okay, of 301 to 350. So many institutions were put, okay, in between these ranks. Okay, they were not given individual ranks, okay, at this stage above top. I mean, beyond 100. Okay, they club the positions like this. So it could occupy 301 to 350 position. And in QS World University ranking, it occupied 184. IIT Madras, Chennai, in that year, okay, could occupy 601 to 800 position. And in the mean Times Higher Education, then QS 271, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur. So in our country, our IITs, okay, used to be the ones which always represent our country in the top 1000. Okay, so even our best higher education institutions or universities in our country could not get top 200, top 300. No, this is the challenge that we are facing. Okay. Now, this period is supposed to be from 10 to 11:30. Now, I will stop here for some time. I will give time for discussion or seeking for clarification or question. Then after that, we will proceed to the next session. And if we can finish earlier, then we will start earlier because the next, okay. Now I give time for raising questions or seeking clarification or for discussion, for giving comments or your viewpoints also. Dr. Manoj Kumar Verma or
Yeah, madam. Yeah.
So I give time, little time for discussion or just let them share their viewpoints or let them ask questions.
Yes, madam. Yeah, please put your questions in the chat box. Madam will reply. As you know, the practices we are following no long time. For all the participants, you are requested to kindly put your questions in the chat box if you have whatever queries and question. I think, madam, one participant is asking, madam, I want to know which is the most accurate university ranking among the ranking.
The most recent. You
No,
mean?
most accurate means we can trustworthy.
Okay, the most accurate ranking. Actually, I cannot tell. I do not know exactly. Okay, but you know, there are a number of agencies doing world university rankings. Then some do online, and okay, they apply different methods. But so far, my knowledge and understanding is concerned, this times higher education is thing. Because I have not read, okay, from anywhere that this is the best and the most reliable ones. I have not read. But so far, my knowledge and understanding is concerned. Times higher education ranking, okay, is considered so high and considered so important and mostly referred to, okay, by people. So to me, my personal opinion is that Times Higher Education World University ranking is, I think, one of the most prestigious world university ranking. And but that in my personal view, it is followed by QS World University ranking. That is why I put up rankings, okay, made by these two agencies. So there are a number of agencies and others also doing World University ranking. And also this ranking is made at different levels. So at Asia level also, okay. So different levels are there. Then at the world level also, there are also other agencies doing ranking. But we mostly refer to these two, Times Higher Education and QS, Quarterly Simons World University ranking. These two are mostly referred to. That is why I personally, okay, consider these two as the most prestigious ones.